Trap music was once limited to aspiring artists speaking out from disenfranchised communities, but now it's a full-blown trend. Is it helping or hurting hip-hop culture?
It's bad and bougie, bad, cooking up dope with a Uzi.
Rap trio Migos' hit song Bad and Bougie, featuring Lil Uzi Vert, has classic trap themes: drugs, guns, and women called by a different name. But the catchy beats of producer Metro Boomin shot it over the top.
Trap music is huge. It's claiming the #1 spots on the charts. Migos' album Culture was #1 on the Billboard 200 earlier this year.
Although he wasn't the first, T.I. is credited with putting trap on the map with his second album, Trap Music. It was released in 2003 and certified platinum. Now he's working on a new album, his 10th. Just a sign the genre resonates with the times, says hip-hop photographer Cam Kirk.
I think it's just the rawness in it, you know, the way that they tell their stories, the way that they're just straight to the point.
Cam Kirk paid tribute to trap music godfather Gucci Mane when he was incarcerated with a unique one-day installation-style exhibit called Trap God. It was in Atlanta, the home of trap music stars like Young Jeezy and Future.
Future, who is a huge trap artist, made history with back-to-back #1 albums on the Billboard 200. So trap music is definitely exploding on the hip-hop scene.
Even pop superstar Miley Cyrus teamed up with Future for Real and True. Trap even has its own Justin Bieber-type teen idol in Lil Yachty. The point is, it's dominating the downloads and the airwaves.
I think it's amazing. I mean, I was just having a conversation with like 2 Chainz' his team about how, you know, trap music is now almost a soundtrack to the world, not even just America. And I think it's just a testament to just like people finally giving their due respect to the South.
More and more music fans are determining what's hot. Let's find out what our panel has to say. Joining us is Nadik. He's a hip-hop artist from the Bronx and just dropped a new video called No Reason. Nadik, great to have you.
Hello, hello, how y'all feeling, how y'all doing?
All right, great. Yeah. Great to have you here. Also, this is Miranda Johnson. She's a multimedia hip-hop journalist. Miranda, great to have you on.
Great to be here.
Thank you so much. Also, this is Lord Jamar. He's a hip-hop artist and member of the group Brand Nubian and also an actor. Jamar, great to have you back.
Peace. Thanks for having me back.
Thank you so much. Miranda, I want to start with you because you write about a lot of different types of music and commentate on it. How do you define trap music for people who feel like the boundaries have just shifted so much?
Well, in the 90s, trap simply referred to a place where drugs were sold. So trap music was coined off of that term and is commonly associated with drugs, gangbanging, and dealing. A lot of people kind of credit in the 1990s, they'll say that groups like UGK and like 3 6 Mafia, what they were doing was trap music, but it wasn't until 2003 when T.I. came out with his second album, Trap Music, that we kind of really heard the term. So over the years, we've seen a lot of growth. We've seen it kind of go from underground to more of a mainstream. And right now, trap culture is just kind of just owning hip-hop. You know, there's still the conscious rap that's definitely has a place in the culture, but trap music definitely has a prominence right now in the scene.
Lord Jamar, what do you think about the trap trend?
I mean,
honestly.
I mean, it's cool. I like some of it. I don't like all of it. You know, I have to deconstruct it in order to take the parts that I can rock with, and then there's parts that I can't rock with. I'm all for advancement of hip-hop and changing styles and all of that, but at the same time, you know, everything has boundaries and parameters. You understand what I'm saying? And when something gets too diluted, it's not really what it started as. You understand what I'm saying? So I think we have to be careful with trap music, how we dilute it with other outside concepts.
So are you saying that we're just putting a whole bunch of things under this trap umbrella and it's not really trap music?
Well,
it's just kind of like music of today.
Basically, I mean, if you listen to her definition of trap, you know, you got people like, let's say, you know, Lil Uzi or Yachty or one of those dudes. I guess their music is technically trap. I mean, the type of beats they rock on, but they're not really drug dealers and all of that. They didn't live their life in the trap. You know what I mean? But
right.
But it's kind of fallen under that umbrella, and then all of that is falling under the umbrella of hip hop,
right?
Which is debatable.
Nadik, how do you feel you're an up-and-coming artist in terms of the trap music trend? Is it a real trend? Is it just everything today is being labeled trap, whether it is or not. How do you feel about that?
The way this whole thing is like trap falls into a certain genre due to the beat for the most part, you know what I mean? So the topic, that's on you. Who is to say that somebody's self-expression over an instrumental is new or old? That's just what you feel. So you got to leave that up to the fans whether trap is taking over or is it bad for hip hop, because it's not favoritism. It's not up to me. Like I put up a hip hop record, I put up a trap record, and if the trap record get more views or more likes than the hip hop record, that's just like, you know what I mean, old school New York type. That's up to the fans. So I kind of got to follow up with what the fans like. In order for me to stay relevant in this time, I got to kind of like give people what they want. So there's a side of me in my life that I felt like I was trapping for a minute, you know what I mean? Now when I put it on these beats, it sound popping. The trap beats are like possessive, you know what I mean? They very simple. So
anybody can rap.
Yeah, what if it's time for you to spit your punchlines over new beats, your old punchlines over new beats? That's all it is, you know what I mean? Basically,
it's more the. You think it's more the beats?
I disagree. I disagree. First of all, trap beats are not simple. They're very syncopated, and if you are a producer and you're trying to put together trap beats, you're going to know that they're not simple. They're slower. That's what they are, as opposed to traditional hip-hop. I don't think it's about trying to knock somebody's self-expression and all of that. I feel like you say you want to give the people what they want. Well, what if the people want you to be an idiot? Like, are you willing to do that? Are we willing to be an idiot just to be successful? Because it's not about the beat. It's more about. It's not even trap music. It's the artists that are doing it.
Yeah, but is that fair, Jamar? Because it's like everybody puts out stuff, and then you see like, well, I'm sure Miranda's written articles or done reports as I have it, and you know, things you think are going to really resonate with people at a certain time, kind of you get a good response. But then there's other things that just blow up, and you're like, wow, people really feeling that.
Whose fault is it that certain people like this and certain people like that? You know what I mean? Like today, I woke up.
Social engineering.
I wanted to listen to Sade in the morning while I was brushing my teeth, and then I wanted to listen to Uzi in the afternoon, like, you know what I mean?
But do you realize you can be influenced to feel that way?
And
you feel like it's organic, but you can be influenced by society to want to listen to certain things.
I feel like it's okay because God gave you free will, and so you have free will, and it's your option to like this one or that one. It's a person's choice.
What do you think about that, Miranda?
Well, although, you know, a lot of the content that comes out of trap music does tend to be negative or to, you know, influence people to do negative things, there are a lot of positives, especially in Atlanta. Like, Atlanta is historically a city that has a vast income inequality. The gap between rich and poor is huge. So a lot of these young people in Atlanta, they really don't have a way to get out of the city. And trap music is giving them that way.
We got to take a short break. We're going to talk about that. This is Street Soldiers. I'm your host, Lisa Evers. We're focusing on trap music, the trap music trend. Is it helping or hurting hip-hop culture? And what about our communities? That's coming up next.
What I'm not with is, you know, the dumbing down of the music, okay, of what we call hip-hop.
Let's talk about how music influences us, because the sound, you said, like a Sade, not listening to Sade while he's brushing his teeth in the morning, but then as the day goes on, it changes and he's listening to different things, just like all of us. So is that a bad thing?
No, not at all. Self-expression, all of that. I'm with all of that.
What aren't you with?
What I'm not with is, you know, the dumbing down of the music, okay, of what we call hip-hop. You know, we prided ourselves in not only dope beats, but also dope lyrics. Being lyrical, clever, witty, all of that type of stuff was part of the criteria of doing hip-hop. These days, it's just you're putting words together. You're not even really thinking about what you're saying.
It's the hook and the beat.
It's melody-driven. It's not necessarily thought-provoking. There's not a lot of things that I can get out of this music, take it into my everyday life, and really use it.
But aren't you talking about, and just jump in, guys, please.
Yeah, look, in New York, we see music a certain way. We like music to have a certain curriculum, a certain pattern, right?
I've been all over the world.
When you go down south, it's different. Party with people in Atlanta. Them niggas
I lived in Atlanta for a year.
They don't care. They don't want to listen to no.
You ain't
When
telling
I'm
me
partying
nothing.
with people in Atlanta, I don't want to listen to no lyrics. I just want to jump up and down and let my dreads swing. That's it.
And
it
that's
ain't
a
even
problem.
about it. Nah, that's cool because I feel that. Ain't no feeling wrong. You know what I mean? I'm doing what I feel, and music is about doing what you feel.
When is there a
There's
time
no music that's
for
wrong.
more than that, for just
When-
jumping up and down
when
and
you
letting your
listen
dreads
to-
swing? I need lyrics, okay? I don't
But
need
that's
this
what you
baby.
want. But if he
Listen
wants
to
to
New
beat
York
and he
Boo
wants
Boo.
to party,
We got Don Q and A Boogie and Dave East and Fab
A
dropping
Boogie
lyrics.
ain't lyrical.
But he does his thing for the youth.
Yes, he does.
He's lyrical for the youth. He's
wait,
talking
I want to
real
hear
life
Miranda.
facts.
Miranda, what about
for the
that?
youth?
What about what they're saying
I
with the
believe
lyrics?
that there definitely could be more of a balance between conscious and trap, just because a lot of the times what he's saying is right. You see the #1 on the charts, and they are very simple songs with not good messages, and we do need to be very conscious of the messages that we are putting out to the youth.
Let's talk about what makes good music. Miranda, no, is anybody ever going to agree on that? Because for some people, it's the lyrics. Some people, it's the beat. Other people, it's the originality.
In my opinion, there are different types of good music. Sometimes I look to certain artists for different types of good music. For Kendrick or for J. Cole, I'm looking for some uplifting, conscious music. When I'm listening to Migos or Lil Yachty or 21 Savage, I'm trying to turn up. I'm not really, looking to them to push me in any type of direction or to have any influence on me. So I think there are different definitions of good music and bad music, and I think that's for pretty much everyone.
Well, what about the beats, Nadik?
The thing is with trap beats is that they popping now, so that's why everybody's like jumping on them, because they want to be popping too. Trap is like the evolution that's closest to old hip hop. You know what I mean? Like traditional hip hop from where I first started listening to hip hop. That's the closest thing. So that's why people is like, okay, I could do that. It's still good, you know. But if you know what I mean, who knows what route music going to take?
No, we don't know where it's
16
going to
years
go,
from
the creativity. But Lord Jamar, you're concerned about the laws of hip hop. You say everybody should know the laws of hip hop. How do you define the laws of hip hop?
Originality. Okay, no biting. Okay, you can't copy somebody's style. You can't copy. Back in those, you can't even really copy the way they dressed. Okay, now everybody dressed the same. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to sound the same. If you wanted to rise really and be respected, you had to be lyrical. You couldn't come with this ABC type of rap and think that it was gonna work. You see? So for me, it's not about the beats. I love trap beats. I got a problem with the type of beat it is. I have a problem with certain artists that I can't even understand what they're saying. That
So-called
mumble rap, okay? I don't even know what you're saying. I truly believe you don't either. Okay? I'm talking about the lyricist.
To be trapped
Shout out Designer. I don't think he knows his own lyrics.
Designer's trapped
Okay?
out.
So
He's
nice,
trapped out.
I'm not picking on him as a person. I'm just saying I can't understand what he's saying.
He just be
I
lit.
come from an era where people articulated their lyrics.
I don't
They
even
took
get him.
time
He lit.
to write them. They didn't just go in the booth and just piece together little lines as they drank the Hennessy and smoked the weed. We drank the Hennessy and smoked the weed, but we were writing down something on paper, and then we'd go in there and articulate it. If we didn't say it right, we'd do it over and over again till it came out correctly.
Miranda, what about the mumble
got a
rap?
hit, though. They
have a hit. What
got a
about?
hit.
Because there is a lot of talk about quote unquote mumble rap.
Yeah. Too much mumble rap is definitely going to water down the culture, just because it's going to make it not taken seriously. And I can definitely agree that lyrics do matter. But then, on the other token, I mean, some of those mumble raps and the melodies, they kind of just possess you and make you feel good, and you put on that song and it uplifts you and makes you want to dance. So I can see both ends of it, but definitely too much mumble rap is not good for the culture.
Let me just say, I don't feel like trap shouldn't exist. I don't feel like let's kill trap or something like
But
that.
it's the most
I
popular-
feel like
Game up.
they need to step their game up, and there needs to be a more diversity of genre. See, when we were coming up, there was idiot rap. Like Biz Markie was like idiot rap back then. If you think about it, like that was like funny, comedy rap. But then you had serious rappers, you had conscious rappers, gangster rappers. You need all of that. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you keep talking about you play that when it's time to turn up, and I get it. But what I'm saying is, it's not always time.
So you're saying there's less creativity? You're saying there's less creativity today? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, there's less creativity. But also, the music is not reflecting the times that we live in.
We have been talking about images and stereotypes a lot on the show and also in the community. So when you have the lyrics that are the most popular, have the craziest, catchiest beats that have those things they call earworms that you just can't get out of your head, and they're talking about real trap, and they're talking about
Molly Percocet.
Right, they're talking about all kind of drug, all kind of, you know, drug dealing, brick this, brick that, you know, smoke this, dope this. Does that have a subconscious, but does that have a subconscious effect on particularly the youth? What do you think about that, Miranda?
It really, in hip-hop, it does seem to, but there's something about people just kind of following the music almost a little too much, like they're taking the music a little too seriously, because over time we've seen sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and we've seen a lot of rock artists sing about the devil and stuff like that, but hip-hop has always faced more persecution for its illicit content. So at the time, there's just a balance. Like, the youth needs to stop kind of taking it so seriously and kind of just take the music for what it is.
Entertainment.
Swing their dreads sometimes,
that's because,
you know?
Hip-hop is for urban people, and the urban people have been going through some things throughout history, so that's why people don't want to hear negativity in that kind of music. But in reality, we live in the hood, so all I could talk about is the product of my environment, bro. I could only reflect, I could only show people what I know. It's like an epiphany of a moment, you know what I mean? So it's not like you really sitting there and saying, yo, I'm gonna pollute society because I made this song. Yeah, it is going to, so you gotta watch your words too, but people have options.
Let's talk about the clone factor, because I think this might be something too that has played effect. What the era that you're talking about, there was no social media, there was no digital. The music industry executives controlled a lot of what got on radio stations and what got on the few TV shows that were actually showing it. Now artists are much more empowered, they have much more access to putting out their own music, and there's a tremendous influence of social media, which some people say, Miranda, is actually helping hip-hop because it's made it explode internationally. Other people say it's created this clone zone where people say, oh, that song or that video on YouTube got X number of millions of hits.
Like that.
So let me do something like that and wear my pants the same way and my hair the same way and the same kind of jewelry. What do you think about that?
It's really unfortunate. I say like the whole East Coast from New York to Miami sounds like Atlanta. Like a lot of them sound like trap, they mimic trap rap, but it's kind of unfortunate because creativity was something that kind of kept the culture almost exclusive.
People really do want substance, and they don't even realize it.
I listen to
of course you want to turn up.
Yeah, but there's times you want to party to.
Absolutely. What I'm saying is, there's music. There's got to be music for all your emotions. We're not just one-dimensional. It's not just turn up, turn up, turn up. When I turn myself this way, there's another dimension. When I turn this way, I might be sad. I might be angry. I want music, hip-hop, that reflects all of that. And what I'm saying is, we used to have that. Now it's just turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up, and the excuse is, you know, well, I got to do that to make money, and it's safer, and blah 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 blah, all this other stuff. I'm saying sometimes.
Where's the artistic spirit?
Right, and where's the spirit of maybe I'm going to sacrifice that in order to leave the world something bigger and better,
and that's cool,
than just turn up and I'm gonna make some money for myself.
You're talking about a consciousness shift.
Before stuff start going bad for you?
I don't know. I've been going 30 years strong, so I'll let you know.
I want to thank our panel for being with us for this episode of Street Soldiers on Trap Music. Nautic hip-hop artist from the Bronx, Miranda Johnson, multimedia hip-hop journalist, and Lord Jamar from Brand Nubian. Thank you very much for being with us. We really appreciate it. Remember, use your mind. It's your best weapon. I hope it's your only weapon. I'm Lisa Evers. Let's push for peace.